This is Ash Eli from the RPGBOT.News department. Dateline, the world of Gyzaengaxx. The Tomb of Gyzaengaxx mega adventure and the Gyzaengaxx Environs Campaign Setting box is now on Kickstarter. A legendary collection for tabletop role-playing gamers, developed by Luke Gygax and Alphinius Goo as an homage to legendary Dungeons & Dragons creator Gary Gygax. Unlock the mystical secrets of the Tomb of Gyzaengaxx and explore the treacherous environs that surround it in this epic tabletop RPG adventure and the campaign setting box from Gooey Cube. Filled with danger, mystery, and magic, this collectible edition will transport your players to a world of endless possibilities. This Kickstarter exclusive offers a limited edition collectible set with a stunning package with full-color art, maps, NPC portraits, magic item cards, and more, making it a true collector's item for tabletop RPG enthusiasts. This one-time limited edition collector's set can only be obtained by backing this amazing project through Kickstarter. The Tomb of Gyzaengaxx is a carefully crafted mega adventure that will keep your players on the edge of their seats. This challenging and immersive adventure includes elements of lampoon, mystery, and dark fantasy, and offers a unique and immersive gaming experience. The Gyzaengaxx Environs Campaign Setting box provides a comprehensive guide to the region surrounding the tomb, including detailed lore, history, and world-building elements to enhance your gameplay. This box set features appearances from legendary figures in the tabletop RPG community, adding an extra layer of excitement. You can meet characters in the course of your adventure, such as Luke or Miriam Gygax, Ed Greenwood, or Larry Elmore, or Archibald Fox. You might even get the opportunity to meet Alphinius Goo himself. With incredible stretch goals such as the powerful Fireborn race, new magics, high-quality character minis, new monsters, and even some intriguing new classes, this Kickstarter offers an unbeatable value for your money. Get ready to dive into a world of adventure and magic like never before. You better hurry up. Don't let our boys and girls down. Journey into the mouth of the demon as you uncover the secrets of the Tomb of Gyzaengaxx. Go to Kickstarter and make your pledge now. Ash Eli, out.
I'm just imagining you in a red velvet robe smoking a pipe and just like sitting in an armchair like, hey Chad, how's it going? Welcome to the RPG Bot. Today we're gonna have a little fireside chat.
So I feel like the thing that we've been like avoiding, we haven't talked about yet. Everybody else is talking about it, but we're not talking about it. Like we should start talking about it, you know?
Is it 2024?
I can't take you seriously. All I can see is the side of your chin.
Same.
With your beard, and it's quite disconcerting.
Sir, you are quite out of frame.
It's fair. I've got a nice wide frame right now on my screen, so I'm doing okay.
All right.
Fair enough.
I say, welcome to the RPGBOT.News. I'm Randall James. With me is Tyler Kamstra.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Dash Eli.
Well, I am fooling. We're gonna have a good old-fashioned cookout down here. Is that the style we're going for, son? I say.
All right, Foghorn Leghorn, got
it. Hey, I'm just working with what the good young man Randall gives me. So he comes here with
picking up what I'm putting
that. Indeed I am, son. Indeed I am. I'll say yes, indeed.
Is our audience old enough to know who Foghorn Leghorn is?
Yes, he's the meme now.
It's a joke, son. I'm
really hope the
and you're
answer
not
is
laughing.
All right.
I don't care if they do know. It's funnier if they don't, honestly. They're like, what the heck is this? What is this?
What in the Kentucky Fried Hell is happening at this point?
What in the Kentucky Fried Hell is happening? Scuff, that's what's happening. Scuff, that's what.
Tyler, save us.
All right, gentlemen, also folks listening in the audience, but mostly Ash and Randall. It is 2024. And as we go into 2024, we now know the 2024 D&D product release schedule, as well as a little bit of 2025. So we're looking at a refresh of the 5th edition rules. So we're going to talk about what we're getting this year, what's in everything, when it comes out. And, we're going to have opinions.
Good, because I need a distraction because guess what else is this year? It's an election year.
Leap year? Leap year.
Woo!
That's the only thing happening this year. Leap year. No,
Yes,
no, it's
totally.
register to vote.
We're not gonna talk about it. We're not talking about it. We're talking about D&D. That's what
we
we're
get a
doing.
Gold Cup this year, right?
A
Soccer?
Gold
Yeah,
Cup?
international soccer. I'm pretty sure it's Gold Cup for CONCACAF.
That sounds right.
Nobody cares.
I care.
Hey, most of the world outside of the United States cares.
And even some of the
Like
United
I said,
States.
nobody cares.
Right. Okay.
I lost us all of our international audiences now.
They're so disappointed.
That's what's going to get us banned in
Yeah.
all of those countries.
No soccer. No.
Not the profanity.
You called it soccer, Randall. It's football, not soccer. Now who's insensitive?
That's
I
fair.
think it's still you.
All right. March 2024. This is coming very, very imminently, like literally next month. We are getting Descent into the Lost Caverns of Socanth. I don't know how to pronounce that. TSOJCANTH. Not a clue.
Sure. Your guess is as good as mine.
So I can't pronounce that.
All right. So this is a revival of a first edition adventure called The Lost Caverns of Socanth. It was a one-shot adventure published for first editions, like very, very old classic adventure. One of the things that Wizards is doing for 2024 to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the game is they're publishing and running a series of tournament-style adventures. So this was a thing way back when. You would go to a gaming convention, bring your group, and you would play through a published adventure, and there was a point system, and you try to get the highest score. Tomb of Horrors was one such adventure. If you read the more recent editions, like they changed out the adamantine doors for steel, because one of the things that players would do is they would steal those doors, sell it, get the money, and the money was worth points. Off topic, but we don't know what other adventures we're going to get this year, but Wizards has, they've posted saying they're going to be at a ton of gaming conventions this year doing 50th anniversary celebrations. So that might be what's happening. Like, we might get new modules at each of the conventions. I don't think it's going to be that many because they're going to 12 this year, which is a lot for them. I hope it's cool.
Me too. I do hope it's cool and not bad.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping it's mediocre. I don't want to get too excited. No, I'm kidding. This is cool.
I want to play in a tournament module. They stopped doing that before I got into D&D. And as soon as I found out it's a thing, it's like, wait, I can be competitively good at this, not just regular good?
Yeah.
So you mean when people who don't know how D&D works say, did you win?
It's finally going to be an answer.
Now you can actually give them a proper answer instead of sign, rolling your eyes and say, it's not that type of game.
Yeah.
It's not that kind of game. And then immediately 5-second pause, stare at each other. It's not that kind of game either. I'm realizing we're now going to have articles on the site optimizing a strategy for winning, which is going to have to pay attention to dice math because ultimately, yeah, exactly. Think about it. Ultimately, you can't count on rolling 20s on every roll. So what are we going to do?
Okay. I see Ash isn't excited, but I could write that.
Yeah.
You're totally
Can you give me a second to blow my brains out? Yeah, that would be great.
No, we have to keep talking about the May release now. Also, Damon gave us a pronunciation guide in the chat, and Damon, I really appreciate that. I can't pronounce that either.
Doesn't help. Doesn't help at all. Sajkanth?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be right.
Let's go with Sajkanth.
He says, yep. Okay, we're good.
Look, I'll corner someone at a convention and say this word to me.
Just anything.
Why did you write it then if you don't know how to say it?
It's going to be like that scene in Silicon Valley. It's we're pivoting. Pronounce it. Okay. May 21st, 2024.
Yes.
We are getting Vecna, Eve of Ruin. So Vecna's had a resurgence lately. Vecna's super big. Everybody's into Vecna. Thank you, Stranger Things.
The adventure looks cool. Yeah, Randall's absolutely right. Vecna's getting a ton of attention recently after Stranger Things started using the name. So this is going to be a really novel adventure. They're doing a lot of things I haven't seen before. First, it runs from levels 10 to 20. The highest level content we've seen in 5e, official hardback published adventures, is the level jump in Planescape. Before that, all of the adventures basically stopped at 13.
No spoilers, though. Damon earmuffs. All right.
That's on the back cover. It's on the back cover of the adventure.
Who reads that?
Damon's not in my Planescape game.
All right, the world is fine.
All right. So levels 10 to 20, very exciting. Like there's going to be a lot of people who are like, my build doesn't come online till like level 5 or 6, so I can't really play it in a real game. You can now. So that's going to be great. You're also going to jump between game settings, which I don't think we've seen before. So like we got Dream of the Blue Veil and Tasha's, and I have stared at it long and hard and been like, I don't know what to actually do with this. Apparently you do this. Planescape, Spelljammer, Eberron, Ravenloft, Dragonlance, and Greyhawk.
I've never been to Greyhawk.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it really is just a celebration of D&D. We're going to all the places, y'all, all of them. That could either be very, very cool and fun, or it could be a complete disaster. Time will tell.
It winds up being party dependent.
Kind of, yeah. So supposedly there's going to be appearances from a ton of big name characters from D&D's past. So like a lot of those characters who have spells and items named after them and stuff, like those are the characters we're likely to see in here. And players are going to get to like meet them, adventure alongside them, do stuff with them. I'm really excited to see a return to Greyhawk here, because Greyhawk is the setting that Vecna originated from. Like Vecna was originally some wizard in Greyhawk that got a little too powerful. This could be cool. It's very ambitious from what we've gotten from talking to folks at conventions, because like there's a little bit of a grapevine. Supposedly this adventure is going to like set the canon for the D&D multiverse going into 2024. So beyond just here's this cool adventure, like it's going to have meta implications for the game and the story around it.
So you mean yet again, Vecna is going to be the cause of the transition between editions, like he was. If folks who listened to our Lady of Pain episode will recall that he was the transition from, I believe it was 3.5 to 4E, his war with the Lady of Pain. He rewrote the multiverse, y'all.
He was also the transition from 2nd edition to 3rd edition. So every once in a while Vecna shows up. It's like, I'm gonna cause a problem, and the multiverse has to respond with rules.
Guy just can't be killed. It's like whack-a-mole with Vecna.
This time it's actually going to turn out to be our fault, and we're going to have to own it. Vecna was actually trying to stop it the entire time.
I would buy that. Yeah. So we don't know a ton about the specifics of the adventure. There are going to be some new monsters. Amanda Hammond, one of the senior designers at Wizards of the Coast, WizKids has started posting pictures of the minis. Amanda Hammond owned up to this, so I can squarely blame her. There's a new monster called a spider dragon.
Yay!
Ha!
I want to slay it with a newspaper.
A newspaper? I don't think that will work.
What if it's +1? I know. All right.
But what is this? The New York
I am
Times?
actually very excited for the adventure, though.
Yeah.
We're going to see if we can drag someone from the design team onto this podcast to tell us about it. We'll see what happens. That's May. In June, we're getting a non-game product. It's called The Making of Original Dungeons and Dragons 1970 to 1976. So it's a 500-page historical art book that goes into like the earliest days of D&D, like before it was published, before it could be bought on shelves, before it was printed at Kinko's or whatever, any of those things. There's going to be apparently never before seen correspondence between Gary Gygax and Dave Arneson. You know, they communicated by letter quite a bit. Like there have been some really cool history books about D&D, like Art and Arcana, that I've really enjoyed. So I'm actually really excited about this.
Book.
But yeah, 500 pages though. Whew, that's a book.
That's quite a lot.
You think about like early writings, the correspondence, early draft rules that maybe didn't work, doodles and art. Like you can get to 500 pages pretty quickly, especially the way you're describing this. I'm assuming it's going to be like more novel form.
No idea.
Yeah, the size of pages I'm imagining are going to be smaller than, it's not a game book, right? It's a book on a shelf to make yourself look, like you read them.
All right, so not a coffee table.
I will say, I see 1970, 1976, and immediately my brain is like, oh, they're working on a sequel.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Encyclopedia Gygax, yeah.
July 16th, we get Quests from the Infinite Staircase. So this is an adventure compendium similar to Tales from the Yawning Portal, Candlekeep Mysteries, Journeys Through the Radiant Citadel, one of those. It's 6 classic adventures updated to 5e, runs from levels 1 to 14. It is named for the Infinite Staircase, which is something in the D&D multiverse that lets you essentially walk between planes of existence. Great hamstring workout.
That's what I always say. No, I mean, this is cool. I feel like the compendiums have been great. They're good resources when you want to put together a one-shot quickly and you want something well-structured, easy to run. I also think they're wonderful for like pick-ins, right? Like you can go in here as DM or a GM, and there's a lot of structure that you can even just borrow into your own adventures when you're building like larger homebrew campaigns. So I think these are great. I'm excited to see we're getting another.
Agreed. Yeah, I really liked Journeys Through the Radiant Citadel. I know some people like to poo-poo it, but I thought it was great. So hopefully it lives up to that standard.
Let's see. So it also introduces a genie named Nefas who recruits heroes to help fulfill wishes made throughout the multiverse. We've gotten a new character in Deck of Many Things. Well, 1.5, like one new, one dramatically expanded. We're getting a new named character in Infinite Staircase. So it sounds like they're trying to introduce some like new characters to the multiversal canon instead of just continuing to run on the same characters who've been named since 2nd edition. So yeah, hopefully Nefas is cool. Hopefully the adventures are great. I don't think they've told anyone what adventures are going to be in the book yet, unfortunately. So we'll have to find that out later. But yeah, I agree with you guys. I'm excited for this one.
I'm with you, Philip.
Now, the stuff that people are really, really excited about, the 2024 core rulebooks. So this is the not a new edition, definitely not 5e.
But also not like 5.5, right? It's different. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
It's like 5.1.
Codename
5.10?
5.1 D&D?
Yeah. Anyway. So we get
new?
5 new, sure.
It's the Dolby Digital of D's and D's.
Homework dash final really final .doc.
Oh, that hurts.
That hurt me in my soul.
Yeah.
That's version control, right?
Yeah, kind of. All right, so 2024 Player's Handbook, September 17th. We got the like inadvertent leaked dates earlier this year where like a bunch of marketing images went up that said all of the books were dropping in May. They still haven't told us why that happened other than just it was a mistake. Those were never the planned dates. We're so sorry. Like they haven't told us how that happened. It doesn't matter that much. Like somebody made a slight oops putting together those images. They took them down pretty quickly. Boy, I am really glad that we have until September. I am not ready for those books to be out in May.
Nope, me neither. Although they're not all releasing in September. It's just the Player's Handbook. And then the DMG in November. And then all the way in February of next year is Monster Manual. So here's my question, WoTC. Why don't you just release them all in February? That makes no sense. Here's the Player's Handbook. DMs, how do you run it? We don't know. Do you have any monsters for me? No. So literally it's just me rolling dice and say, something happens.
Well, I mean, but the idea, right? We're going to be able to use the DMG still. We're going to be able to use, previous monster books still. Like everything's going to work together and it's going to be great, Ash.
So totally. This is actually...
It's going to totally be fine.
This is actually pretty normal. Since at least 2nd edition, they've done the staggered release on the core books. If they release all at once, people walk into a game store and are like, I don't know if I want to drop $150 right this second. That feels like a lot, but break it up over a few months. It's a little less like sticker shock.
Well, you only need to do that if you're the DM. And usually if you're the DM, you know why you're there. And I don't know. I get that they've done it before. My question still stands. Why? Paizo doesn't do this as far as I'm aware. When Paizo releases a thing, they release them all at once.
I mean, we did get like the new core rulebook and then the new GM staggered as when they did
them apart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe I'm the crazy one. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Like looking back on it, we'll all forget. Like the 2014 releases, they did the PHB in August, Monster Manual in September, and the Dungeon Master's Guide in December. So like they always do the staggered release, at least going back to 2nd edition.
Then why'd they switch it this time? Why are they releasing the Monster Manual last?
That's a great question. I don't know.
because it's the
Like,
thing that's going to be ready last.
Probably. Like, okay, so we've seen all of the UA stuff for the player's handbook, and it's been almost exclusively character options and like the rules glossary. Not a peep, not a word about mounted combat. I swear to God. Fix it.
They won't because they hate you, Tyler.
Our first 2024 rules episode is going to be, why is mounted combat still broken?
Yeah, not a word changed. Why?
Is mounted combat good in Pathfinder 2? I am curious.
Oh, it's fantastic. I love it.
Have we done an episode on mounted combat? Because if not, we should do it.
Third
After the
episode ever,
2024
second
rules
episode
drop.
ever.
It was, second or third. It was pre-you. But yeah, it's a good episode. Go back and listen to it.
You mean there was a time before me?
I
How
know.
could you? How could you?
All time stops and proceeds forward from the day that Ash met us.
Yeah, exactly. This podcast didn't
after
exist before I arrived. I'm just kidding.
All right. Okay, so we've seen a bunch of UA content for the 2024 Player's Handbook. All the character options, like we know exactly what subclasses are going to be in it, like with the exception of 2 or 3, I want to say. So we have a very good idea of what's going to be in this. We know that they're going to change the chapter order for the first time since the first Player's Handbook existed. The chapter order in the PHB has been exactly the same. They're going to change it for the first time. So instead of here's a book, make a character, it's now here's a book, here's the chapter called Playing the Game. Currently, Playing the Game is chapter 7 in the Player's Handbook. And if you want to learn how the game works, that sucks.
Yeah, that's not a great strategy. I'm glad they're changing it. So that's good. Good choice. Well done, WoTC.
Yes. I mean, it's great as a reference document once you know how to play, because like you open it and it's right there. That's all you need. It's right there. But yeah, learning to play, not great. And we have D&D Beyond and stuff if we need a reference document. There's going to be 48 subclasses, 4 for each of the classes in the PHB. So like that's not new information. We know that a lot of stuff in the 2014 PHB isn't going to be in the 2024 version. So like there will be people who are like, why isn't my subclass here? I am sad. I get it. I'm sure we'll get another Splat book in like a year or two. Dungeon Master's Guide we've seen way less from. Basically the only thing in the Dungeon Master's Guide that we've actually seen is the Bastion rules, Unearthed Arcana. Yeah. And they were like fun concept. We did an episode about them and we had opinions. Very clearly still needed some work. We have been told that they're making huge changes to the Dungeon Master's Guide because the 5th edition DMG generally wasn't well liked. Like both of you are DMs. When was the last time you opened the Dungeon Master's Guide and what was it for?
Basically only when you make me for this podcast.
I've used it a few times for the variant rules and stuff like that. I mean, the magic items are all online, so you don't really need to break out the DMG for that. Or descriptions of the multiverse. But then again, that stuff I could find online, but just like getting a good blurb for it and is useful for me because I'm running Planescape. But outside of that, not really useful for anyone else.
Yeah, the general feedback is people don't get a lot of use out of the Dungeon Master's Guide except for the magic items. Like that's basically the only thing in there that a lot of people care about. So they're trying to make it a much more useful as an advice book and like here's how to practically run the game instead of just like the first thing basically in the Dungeon Master's Guide is how to write and run a full-length campaign. And just like the PHB, that's terrifying.
I have a request from WoTC if they're still working on this DMG. How about a system for creating monsters that's not garbage? That'd be great.
But then who would use the Monsterizer?
True. I mean, yes, I don't want it to affect you, but
no,
please. I just want an elegant way to make monsters rather than it's like, sure, figure it out. Use your feelings. And it's just like, this is a time where it is acceptable to copy the homework of Paizo, okay? They've done an excellent job of this. It's really easy to make monsters in that system. Please copy their homework. Please, I beg of you.
Yeah. Supposedly, the encounter building rules are supposed to be a lot better in the new DMG, but we also haven't seen them, so who knows?
Challenge rating is not a suggestion. That would be great, too.
Yeah. When they started the Unearthed Arcana process for this, like they promised us that there would be a ton of time, like a ton of UA documents for the Dungeon Master's Guide and the Monster Manual. The fact that we've seen basically nothing is kind of surprising.
We're literally running out of time.
Yeah, like at this point, the books are probably in like very, very late production stages. It is probably too late to make significant changes. I have to imagine like the UA thing is done. I'm pretty sure they've actually said, at least for the player's handbook, they're done, probably done, period. If I had to guess why that happened, they started the Unearthed Arcana process and thought the initial versions would be much better received than they were. And if you remember from like the first few UA documents, they were rough. Like there were some bold choices. Things got better, but it was pretty rough at first. So they probably just literally ran out of runway.
I still stand by. I think that they gave us the yellow duck. Like that was their strategy. It's like, I'm going to give you something so ridiculous that you just ignore the rest of the slightly less ridiculous thing.
Yeah. So he'll all die on as well. Let my monsters crit. Don't take crits away from me as a DM. It's the one joy I have in
I
my
think they walked that
meaningless existence. Good, because they should.
Actually, I think they said they're going to walk that back, but they haven't done another UA where they talk about that. So technically, we don't know.
I realize I'm in the minority in this. Don't take my crits away from me, please.
I don't think you're
in the minority.
No.
Okay.
Okay. We do know the new monster manual is going to have 80 new monsters, which is exciting. Jeremy Crawford has said repeatedly that these are going to be the largest core rule books in the history of the game, totaling at nearly 1,000 pages.
Oh boy.
I saw some folks.
So we got a Pathfinder situation on our hands.
Well,
God.
Yes and no, but people have rightly pointed out that the 2014 core rules total somewhere between 990 and 1,000.
Okay.
So like,
all right.
There's not that much room. We've also been promised that there's going to be way more art in these ones than in previous books. So how are they going to fit more art, more monsters, like more advice, more, like all of these more things into effectively the same page count? Unless like it's entirely possible Crawford just had the numbers like wildly off or something. We'll have to see.
That sounds about right.
Miniature art.
Miniature art.
More art in the same amount of space.
They're gonna reduce the font size.
Just very tiny. You're gonna have to be like a wizard with your magnifying glass as you.
Yeah, we'll see. Supposedly, there's gonna be like full page art splashes for each class, just like the Paizo books.
Awesome.
So, the art of the fighter we saw looked pretty cool. Okay, so that's all the books. That's what we know about the books. There's a couple of other goodies. There's apparently going to be D&D branded Converse, an official D&D Lego set. There are going to be D&D Pop-Tarts this year, apparently.
You have to say the last thing still. Go ahead and say the last thing, and then I'll talk about Pop-Tarts.
Okay. And supposedly they're going to launch the official D&D virtual tabletop this year.
Okay, so let's talk about the Pop-Tarts now. The Pop-Tarts are the thing on this list I'm most excited about.
I'm kind of excited about them too. I like Pop-Tarts.
It's the thing I'm most likely to be a consumer of.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. The thing I'm least excited about. I don't know why we're doing this.
The virtual tabletop?
VTT?
Yeah.
Or the Converse.
The virtual tabletop. You were right the first time. Yeah. I look at all the options available to me in the world, and there's such rich, great products. There's too many of them. I can't use them all at once. I've tried to get my players to use 2 simultaneously in a game. They told me no. And they told me that I couldn't DM anymore. And now what you're going to do is you're going to give me another. And I'm right. We've talked about this in the past. What I am really worried about is we're going to somehow wind up in an environment where effectively, like maybe they don't kill off Roll20. They don't cut Roll20 off from like official products. But do we land in a place where basically the only places to play the game are Roll20 and D&D Beyond, because everything, or whatever we brand the VTT as, because everything else is cut off. I don't want to do that.
Yeah. I feel a disturbance in the force. Like a bunch of nerds cried out in pain and they were instantly silenced at the mention of this VTT. I do not like. I've gone on record saying that I am very pessimistic about this VTT. I know how Hasbro thinks. I would consider myself quite an expert in how the AAA games industry works and just how greedy and overly monetized it is. So prove me wrong, WoTC. make it good. Don't be scummy. Don't be scummy. I know that's hard for you, but please try.
And again, like I have no doubt that they can't. I bet they can do a fantastic job with it. I bet they can build.
I don't care how high quality it is. If it's overly monetized and, like you said, it kills off competitors, it's scummy and it's not worth my time.
Well, you do it the opposite way, right? First you kill off the competitors and then you monetize it.
Or you do both simultaneously.
Yeah.
All right.
There's my oof. Okay.
Did I tell you guys I was part of, I got to play in an alpha demo on the VTT?
Yeah, and you said you were thoroughly whelmed.
Yeah, whelmed is a good word for it. Like, this is a virtual tabletop.
Well,
but
I feel like,
boy,
and not to keep it, like, I feel like you also basically just weren't allowed to say much about it other than the whelming.
Let's see. So we got more information on that, like, literally the day after we recorded that podcast episode, and they said, yeah, you can say whatever you want. You just can't share images. Like, I posted a blog post that nobody read. I checked my analytics. Let's see. So the VTT, at the time that I played it, it was very pretty. It worked fine. The performance was pretty good, but, like, I'm on a decently built gaming machine. The interface was extremely unintuitive. I build user interfaces at my day job. Like, that is one of the things I do. All of the things you need very quickly were hidden in weird places. Rolling dice was extremely unpleasant and unintuitive. Like, there was a lot of just 3D objects clipping into each other. So at the time, like, there were a ton of issues that made it very, very difficult to interact with the thing unless you were following the exact, like, play the adventure in this exact order. Unless you were doing exactly that, things kind of went off the rails. So it's entirely possible that things are way better now. Like, I know how far software can come in a short amount of time. I also know how far software can not come in a long amount of time. So, who knows?
All right. So given all of that, I feel like the question you have to answer about this, what's your favorite flavor Pop-Tart?
I like cinnamon, just like classic cinnamon. It's good warm, it's good cold, it's good lukewarm. Like, you can just pop it out whenever. Like, they're good.
Damon's favorite Pop-Tart flavor is Basilisk.
Love it. Brown sugar for me.
Brown sugar. Oh, wait. Isn't the cinnamon brown sugar? Isn't that the same one?
No, brown sugar is brown
that's
sugar.
A different one.
That might be the one you like. They're not too dissimilar.
Huh. Okay. I feel like I'm having an existential crisis. I don't know what I've been eating for the past several years.
It's okay.
All right. I'm going to go lay down next to my box of Pop-Tarts.
I also have another question. Favorite VTT?
I haven't experimented enough outside of Roll20 to have super strong opinions. What I saw of Foundry was really, really great. I want to play with some 3D VTTs and just see what I like.
3D VTTs are fun. Randall?
I think I'm in a pretty similar boat to Tyler. Most of my games are with Tyler. Roll20 is great and perfectly functional. I don't use half the features that it offers me, which is honestly kind of disappointing. Like, there's reasonable audio integration. There's reasonable lighting integration that I never take advantage of, which is to say, like, I feel like I can't go, sure, need a full feature thing. It's like, no, I'm looking for pictures on boxes and layers. And that's basically all I'm going to do anyway. Anything else is just pretend. What about you, bud?
For me, I like them both for different reasons. I think Roll20 frustrates me more than Foundry does, just because a lot of its limitations and bugginess. Foundry has a lot more customization and quality of life that you can do that really makes running certain games super easy as a DM. I do think that the player experience is probably a bit better on Roll20 than it is in Foundry, but the GM experience is unmatched in Foundry. It's fantastic. And I think it is the only VTT that I would recommend using for Pathfinder 2. Roll20 is garbage for Pathfinder 2. Don't use it because the character sheet is bad, for one. And if you want access to all the compendium, guess what? You got to pay Roll20 for that. Foundry, you get all of the compendium for free, like it should be. And so that's why I will always run Pathfinder 2 in Foundry.
All right. Well, it's been good talking about the books that are coming out from WoTC this year. I could say we're all excited. We're waiting. We're eager. And yeah, I think we have a guest around here somewhere.
You got a rogue wizard somewhere in the building?
Why rolled my cube suddenly gooey?
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
I know.
Tonight we have a special guest with us, Alphinius Goo.
Ha-ha! It is I, Alphinius Goo. Hello. How was that? How was that, Randall? Or was that a good sort of kick in right there?
No, I liked it. Like it was, yep. I did the thing and then you did the thing and now we...
Yeah, you did the thing. So he does. So they told me all beforehand there's all these hand signals, which include things that we probably shouldn't say in mixed company. So I'm just going to let...
All right, Tyler, what's happening?
I'm very excited. We brought Alphinius on to tell us about the Tomb of Gyzaengaxx. So Alphinius is the creator of Gooey Cube, who is a staple at the tabletop RPG convention circuit, produced some wonderful, wonderful D&D products that we really enjoy, but haven't talked about on the podcast, really. Randall and I have been following the Tomb of Gyzaengaxx since Alphinius told us about it at GaryCon 2022. So, we've had our eyes on this project, waiting for it to launch for a while. So I'm really, really excited. Alphinius, I understand you are the CEO and creator of Gooey Cube. Yeah, I know you write a lot of content. You run the Great Gooey Game Show, which Randall and I were lucky enough to get on at GaryCon last year, partially due to a snowstorm.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That was something. Something of the weather was involved in some fashion. I'm just not sure.
Yeah. So, Alphinius, give us the elevator pitch. What is the Tomb of Gyzaengaxx?
Well, it is, first of all, Tyler, it's marvelous, and thank all of you for having us here to speak with you this evening, and hopefully talk to some folks and tell them about this, because I must tell you, as we have discussed before, sort of on the side, right? Gooey Cube is much more of a passion project than it is really a business, right? My real name's Kim. I'm a marketing guy there. I broke character for you, okay? All right, Randall. My real name's Kim. I'm an advertising person.
Oh, no, don't break character. You were doing so well.
Only for a moment. He'll be right back. So we have this wonderful little advertising agency in Colorado, and we made this crazy game company on the side. So, okay, that's it. That's enough of that stuff. Well, let's go back to Alphinius. He's way cooler than I am. Yes, indeed, my friends. It is. So sometime back, we had this wonderful conversation with this marvelous man named Luke Gygax. And I happened to express to him my fanboyishness towards not just his father, but so many of the folks from when I was young, right, growing up and playing this game, Dungeons and Dragons, where you didn't tell anybody that you played it or you got beat up at school. It was yeah. Okay. So let us just be clear. Even though I was a young wizard at the time, you could still get your butt whipped by bullies. So
honestly, it was more likely back then, right? Like that's the...
I'm sorry, Randy,
no, honestly, it was more likely back then. It's kind of the funny thing. Like my kids are part of like D&D club, and they're like cool. Like you gotta apply, and then everybody's like, "What can I do?"
Cool.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, there wasn't no D&D clubs, bro, except for the clubs you got smacked up upside your head when you told people you played D&D.
Or you were going to hell, and that you were in league with Satan. That was the other thing.
There was some of that.
Both.
Yes, absolutely. There was some of that. That was also difficult for us. We faced abuse, bullyism, and religious persecution. It was a comprehensive attack. Anyway, so I happened to have this conversation with Luke, and I'm telling him about this map of East Verdestia, which is a continent in our world. And I say East Verdestia, and I said I happened to put a place on there called Gyzaengaxx. And I said it was there. I put it there for your dad. And he said, well, that's cool, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know, we had far too many drinks or something. and finally he agreed that we would do a project together called the Tomb of Gyzaengaxx, right? And lo and behold, we started walking down that path probably about 14 months ago. We obviously, Tyler, you remember at GaryCon, that I think I handed you one of the flyers. Randall, I can't remember. Did I hand you one as well? Yeah, I handed you both flyers, and we were just starting down the road, and then we had some things occur that delayed us. And I'm very thankful for the delay, because about 3 months ago or so, 4 months ago, we happened to be on a call talking about what we were doing and all of that stuff. And the idea came up that we would not just honor Gary in this marvelous tale, the Tomb of Gyzaengaxx, but could we honor some of the other legends? And so what happened was we began to reach out to people like Peter Atkinson and Ed Greenwood and Errol Otis and Larry Elmore and Penny and Skip Williams and others, quite a few others actually. And they all started saying yes, they wanted to be characters in this place. And so we have this magnificent adventure, this magnificent location. And Margaret Weiss made a character. She didn't want to do her own portrait. She made a character named Archibald Fox. So we just have these incredible people who helped make this game so special, who we have now taken their portraits and made them into characters. And so all of your players will get to play with these marvelous people. So it's, as a fanboy, I'm kind of like, squee, all that. Anyway, so basically the elevator pitch, that was a terrible elevator pitch because aren't you supposed to say it in 2 sentences?
It's a very slow elevator.
So we're making a wonderful adventure honoring Gary, who is being played by the ghost of Gary Gygax, starring Luke and his family, as well as all of these legends in a magnificent campaign area that is around it. And I can tell you more as you ask questions. There's my elevator pitch.
That's great.
Great.
So we know from what's available on the Gooey Cube website right now that the Tomb of Gyzaengaxx will detail the environs around the tomb as well as the tomb itself. There's portrait art for all of these legends that are included in the adventure currently. What can you tell us about the adventure itself? Obviously, the name feels like it calls back to the Tomb of Horrors, which is an adventure that I am very, very fond of personally. I made these guys sit through me talking about the Tomb of Horrors for an hour straight on the podcast.
It might have been 2. I'm going to be you.
It might have been.
It was 2.
It's a magnificent adventure. It's not safe, but it's a magnificent adventure.
So like, what is the style of this adventure? Is this calling back to Tomb of Horrors? Is this something else? What are we looking at?
So the tale begins with a town called Ethom. And Ethom is an anagram of Hamlet.
Oh, perfect.
which was the first adventure that Luke ever played in with his dad. Okay, which he was Melf in
the male elf.
This
Yeah.
Yes, Melf the elf. Something a 10-year-old or 5-year-old or 7-year-old would definitely come up with is great.
Yeah.
And of course, from that we got Melf's minute meteors, right? You all know about that little, that one.
Or Melf's acid arrow is the other one.
Yes. Absolutely, Ash. The more famed one of the two, for sure. So the tale is that Luke Gygax has returned home from the Vanzentian military to the little town of Ethom, where he was raised with his family. And he wants to see his father. When he comes to Ethom, he finds out that his father, who was a very eccentric, interesting, and famed wizard in the area, has disappeared for some time. In fact, his tower, his massive, magnificent tower sort of keep that he has, where people would go visit and ask him for help, and he would assist. He was a wonderful person. Now, when they go there and visit, there are strange, weird, magical happenings, creatures skulking about, and it used to be called the Tower of Gyzaengaxx, but over time, it is, because they now believe that Gary Gygax has perished, it is now called the Tomb of Gyzaengaxx colloquially in the area. And so you get to explore the little town of Ethom and perhaps make a little side quest to another little town called Blun, B-L-U-N. Which, if you know what go ahead, do your anagramming.
What?
Do your anagramming.
There's so many organizations.
Nob.
Nob? I don't know that one.
Nob. So Nob was the sort of bad town that was associated with Homeland.
Okay.
And so this is kind of the nod that we're making in doing this to give love, to this. And it is lampoony, so we're not really doing anything that is breaking any significant rules or anything like that. It's funny. It's poking fun at the history of the game, and there's going to be some grim, dark stuff too, but it's going to have a lot of fun. Anyway, we're excited to be able to do this and bring this magnificent tale that will take the players to the Tomb of Gyzaengaxx, where they will experience a lot of nods and Easter eggs and old school things, all made new. It's going to be pretty interesting because you're going to go down some hallways and you're going to open a door and something that absolutely doesn't make sense as to why it's there is going to be there, which is the way it always was in the old days. Anyway, we're pretty excited about it. It's going to be quite special. We might even have the Temple of Existential Evil.
Oh, I love that.
I love everything about that. That's great.
So
We've been laughing a lot, Luke and I, about how to lampoon all this. And of course, if you go to the pre-registration page, there's this marvelous a demon statue on the front who's winking at you, and his eye is missing an eye, and his tongue catches on fire, and it's pretty
Nice.
It's a great piece of art.
fun.
For folks getting excited about the adventure, let's give them a little bit more information. First of all, what level ranges are you thinking players are likely to bring characters for this?
So we're dancing that still a little bit. We have said, I think, 3 to 6 or 2 to 6, and there'll be some level progression within there. We might push it a little higher. We still got 6 days before the Kickstarter launches, so we have a little bit of room still to move. But if y'all know, the way we do things a little bit, and I think I talked to you guys a little bit about this at GaryCon, we try to build things more in level ranges than we do in just sort of more specific levels. So we add things to our stats so that if someone wants to make an encounter tougher, more aggressive, they can do it very easily with the stat blocks that we provided. Or if they want to make it easier, they can actually make it easier with the stat blocks.
That makes sense.
So we really give a game master a lot more breadth in terms of choosing how to make the adventure, what level it would be.
So sort of related to that, this is obviously like a love letter to, old school D&D, some of the first edition stuff, obviously Tomb of Gyzaengaxx, as Tyler said, Tomb of Horrors. Are you planning on the difficulty of the campaign reflecting that? Because obviously those adventures were incredibly unforgiving. Or are you going to be sort of playing more to 5e strengths and lessening the challenge a bit?
Yeah, so we're going to do an OSE version as well. So it won't just be 5e, but we've been talking with Marvelous Kelsey Dion about an OSE version, and we're having some fun with her. She's actually going to be in the tail as well. So I'm very excited to have her. If you have not spent time with her yet, she is magnificent. Ash, this is a great question. I am definitely of the mind that the way the game has moved away from let's kill everybody pretty much every time we play to maybe people like their characters and would like them to advance, it is probably more fun for players. I definitely am on that side, and so is Luke. So we may have a couple of really dangerous things that could happen in there, but we're not going to be us as the game masters against the party and how do I, arise victorious by killing them all. That is not at all what we're going to do, even though there'll be some stuff.
Wait, if I don't get to bring a stack of character sheets and a box of matches, like why am I even here?
How am I supposed to keep myself warm? This basement isn't heated.
You mean I'm not supposed to get giddy and excited when I kill one of my players? Oh, man.
No,
I've been running too much I've been running too much Planescape lately.
Awesome. So we've alluded to, but I feel like we haven't actually maybe explicitly said it. So there is an upcoming Kickstarter that folks can register for right now. I think at the time this episode is coming out, if you're listening to this live, I think it's likely the Kickstarter is like literally about to kick in tomorrow. So like you're primed. You've come in at the exact right time. Tell us a little bit more about the Kickstarter.
Well, so there is an adventure component, which is the Tomb of Gyzaengaxx. And then there is the Environs of Gyzaengaxx, which is all the areas around it and a wonderful set of maps and all kinds of handouts. I mean, y'all saw what we do. We hearken to the old school made new, because when I was a kid, we had these adventures that you'd have all of these marvelous wonderful ink drawings, by magnificent artists, and all of this stuff. And sadly, I think sort of in the quest for profit, a lot of that has gone by the wayside. And since we clearly don't have a real good quest for profit, we decided we would put lots of artwork and handouts in there to help aid the immersive experience, right? This is the goal. So you'll have this wonderful adventure that's a mega adventure. It will have the Tomb of Gyzaengaxx, which is really the tower, as well as this amazing dungeon that is going to be down below it with all kinds of wonderful mysteries and things to discover, not just kill monsters, right? And really an overarching mystery that I think people will love. And then, of course, you'll have the Environs, which is all the areas around there, which, of course, is the town of Blun and this magnificent temple of existential evil, or whatever we end up calling it, and other things, I mean, I just think that is so magnificent. And when you start pondering existential and what it means in terms of what you just start scratching your head thinking, oh my gosh. So you'll have all of these places, and many of them will, for those who've been around, will see the nod or see the Easter egg and be able to enjoy that. But I still think, it's not just going to be just goofiness, right? There's going to be a lot of lampoon, but it's going to be grimdark too. It's going to have some scariness and it's going to have some challenges. And that's what makes for a great game, I think, is all of that, together.
Yeah, I'm reading Damon's message in the chat. It's like, you come for the cheese and stay for the cheese grater. It's going to be great.
Excellent metaphor.
Yes.
Oh no, I am the cheese.
Yeah, that's right. If you don't know who the cheese is, it's you.
Flashbacks to spike growth and eldritch grasp. Yep.
Okay, awesome. And so let's nail this down. The Kickstarter is going to start, I think, February 27th. That's right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Of 2024, because that's the year that we're in.
That's right. For somebody watching this in 2025 or listening to this in 2025, yeah.
No, but great news. If you're listening to this in 2025, first of all, hello, how are things going? I hope the world hasn't burned down. Second,
me too.
You can go buy the adventure right now. So just go Google that, Tomb of Gyzaengaxx.
Yeah.
You figure out how to spell it.
If you're not listening to this in a vault while the world burns. So.
Honestly, that's charming a little bit. Like the world is gone. They've decided to preserve terabytes of media, and in all the terabytes of media, this episode of this podcast is one of the things that made it.
I'd do it. I'd listen to it in the vault. It would be the one thing that would keep me sane.
I don't know. We could talk about dice math again, Ash.
Oh God, no! I'm just gonna walk out into the radiation if you don't mind. That'd be great.
Opening the door. Okay, perfect. So starts February 27th. How long are you going to run the Kickstarter for?
It'll run till the 24th of March, which is the last day of GaryCon.
Nice. Okay.
So when we're out there together, we'll see how we've done. But we've got a lot of followers already, and we've sort of barely begun. We think somewhere in the neighborhood of 2,500, 2,600 actually on the Kickstarter preview page, but another 1,000 or so that have pre-registered, and we still haven't even started. We got 6 days to go. So I think we'll have some thousands of people before we even turn it on. So I'm hopeful that we'll start strong.
All right, Alphinius, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Oh, is that it? Should I be speaking right now? Let's do that again.
Sorry. It's good.
You broke Randall.
I think we should just use that.
Back for Dan right now. Poor Dan.
Okay. All right, Alphinius, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
No, it was a pleasure. You all are marvelous. And thank you for allowing us to share this with your audience. I do think it's going to be, for me, in this wonderful journey that I've been on with this RPG thing since I was, in my teens, to be able to do this, to be able to work on this, to be able to make it as special as we can make it is one of the greatest privileges that I can think of in all of the time that I've been playing this stuff. And I truly believe I've seen Luke's passion for this. I've seen our team's passion for this. We are going to put our heart and souls into this and really try to make it something incredibly special, to honor Gary, to honor all these legends who are a part of it, and to truly give a great, great tale to tabletops across the world. That's our goal. So if they want to back the Kickstarter, if it happens to not be 2025 or 2026 or whatever year it happens to be thereafter, yes, they can go to GooeyCube.com/back, BACK, and you can pre-register there. And the reason why you want to do that and don't just go to Kickstarter is because we have this thing called the Gooey Haul. And if you back at the adventure and campaign level, we have an incredible package of pre-stretch goals that you will get worth somewhere around $200. Okay? So that's the Gooey Haul. So you want to go to GooeyCube.com/back, BACK, and pre-register so that you qualify for that extra special gift from us for backing us in this thing.
And if you're thinking, okay, I have to rewind and I have to get that right now, don't worry. There's a link in the show notes. You can just go click it and it'll bring you straight there.
Yes, the link in the show notes. Look right there. GooeyCube.com/back. Ha ha.
And where, my dear wizard, can people find you on formerly Twitter, now X, or other social media?
So I was not a tweeter, whatever the friggin' thing. Camera Mandy wants me to be a twit, but I've never wanted to be one. So we really, in social media, we primarily focus on Discord and Facebook and Instagram. That's where we primarily focus. So we're Gooey Cube on Discord, which is what we should be. But on Facebook, we're the Gooey Game Master's Den of Enlightenment, which is the stupidest thing ever, and we should have changed it years ago, but we haven't. So
I like it.
look for Gooey Game Master's Den of Enlightenment. I think you can find it if you say Gooey Game Master. I think usually we start coming up. But we were young. We didn't know what we were doing. We named ourselves the stupidest name on Facebook.
It's a very active, enthusiastic Facebook group.
It is. It is. And you know what, Tyler, I got to say truly too, and you know this, really dear people, really a lot of really dear people. There aren't very many at all, any kind of trolly people, very supportive of creators, a lot of writers and artists in there. And it is a joy to be a part of that community. And I thank you for being a part of that community.
Say thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Yes, say thank you, damn it,
Jeez.
Tyler.
Thank you.
Oh. You left him as a deer. You left him as a deer in the headlights.
Alphinius.
there.
I started getting misty and I froze.
Oh.
Thanks, Alphinius. It really is a really nice bunch of folks on the Facebook group. Like every once in a while, I'll pop in there and just everyone's so happy and having a good time. And like, you just love to see that on social media these days.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
people can be so mean,
Yeah.
right? And this is the thing, this thing I don't understand. I don't understand how the anonymity brings out so much vitriol at times, I
Especially
mean, we're all
now.
on this planet for just a short time, right? Why don't we leave good things back behind us, right? As much as we can, that's the better way.
Life's too short to yell at people for their bad builds.
My God, you're such a dummy. You didn't build that rogue, right?
For everything else, there's
I am a
RPG.
Multi-classed
rogue
into
builder.
sorcerer as a rogue? How could
It's
you?
gonna be great. I'm telling you, people are going to love this build.
Ugh.
All right,
Ugh.
figure it out. We'll have a link in the show notes. No, all right. No, yeah. Thank you so much for being here. And folks at home, you're listening, you're enjoying Alphinius. 100%. Just pay attention. Go to the socials that we just talked through. If you get the opportunity at convention, go to the booth, say hello, go to the Great Gooey Game Show. You are going to have a good time.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So listen, I want to tell you, at Gen Con this year, they actually moved us from the small stage for the game show to the big stage. So we literally, can you imagine? I mean, can you imagine 500, 600, 700 people in there playing the game show? Oh my gosh, can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Well,
So I guess I got to get a lot more prizes.
I unfortunately will miss it, but maybe sometime soon in the future I'll be able to go.
Come on, Ash. Come
We'll
on.
get in there
Get
sometime.
on up
Yeah,
there.
look.
I'm so poor, Alphinius. I could not afford
We
it.
just
I tell you, this is the problem with this damn business. This damn business is so fun and wonderful, but doggone it, it's hard to make a buck.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no money in it. There's no money in it.
there's passion. That's
There.
That's
can-
bad.
Passion don't pay the bills.
Can I fly on
Uh,
passion?
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Passion Airlines? No, that's
Exposure.
Yeah, no, it's close though. It's close.
stupid.
Guys, seriously, you three are marvelous, and I'm so glad our paths have crossed, and I'm very excited to bring this thing to the world, because I think it's going to be incredibly special. We have a collector's edition that's only available at the Kickstarter, and Luke and I are going to be signing some things that'll only be available at the Kickstarter. And so for those of people who are like me, who have way too much stuff stacked in shelves and boxes through the years, right? That I know are valuable, right? I can look online. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that was worth that much money. I tell everybody when I sign something that it's worth absolutely nothing, right? But you never know.
I'm going to hang on to this just in case. That feels like all right.
Yeah, just in case.
All right. If you've enjoyed the show, please rate and review us on Apple Podcast and rate us on Spotify or your favorite podcast app. It's a quick, free way to support the podcast and helps us to reach new listeners. You'll find links in the show notes. You'll find affiliate links for source books and other materials linked in the show notes, as well as on RPGBOT.net. Following these links helps us to make the show happen every week.
Did you say limps?
Limps, links, lumps,
Links.
It's all in the right.
It was like limps. It's fine. People know what you're trying to say.
Yeah. It's in the show notes.
At this point, they've already turned it off. It's fine.
I mean, people come here for the scuff more than the, informed opinions.
Wait, do we have those?
Informed opinions?
The informed opinions?
I got opinions.
Occasionally.
Sir, I'm a professional.